And hello, welcome back to another episode of In Brandon. I'm your host, Kevin Spooner, and this week we're featuring multiculturalism. There's a lot of festivals coming up at the Multicultural Festival, and today we are joined by someone who knows how to dress for success. This is color put to use. I've never seen quite a display as rich, powerful. What a statement. Bold is your middle name. Welcome, Emmanuel from the Nigerian Pavilion. Pleasure to have you with us today.
Well, thank you to have me, Kelvin. Like you rightly said, the color is indeed, the outfit is indeed very colorful, which is a Nigerian theme. Yes, now we've got diverse culture in Nigeria, and various attires we put on. They're very, very colorful. Again, let me again reintroduce myself again. I am Emmanuel, and I'm the lead coordinator for the Nigerian Pavilion team going to the Westman Multicultural Festival, which is a traditional event in Brandon. And fortunately, this is the first time Nigeria will be taking part in the Westman Multicultural Festival.
You're kidding?
Yes.
How have we gotten along without Nigeria? Nigeria is has such a huge community in Brandon. You're telling me up till now we haven't had a pavilion?
Not at all.
I'm so glad that you finally came and righted this problem, because that is a we need to see more Nigeria.
Indeed. I mean, pretty much if you go anywhere you don't see a Nigeria. I mean, it's not, they say it's not sweet. So, I mean, for us coming on board, it's going to be more sweeter, more fun and all that. You know, the way the tradition of putting up the Westman Multicultural Festival has been consistent over the year, in spite of the year of the COVID and all that. But then it has been consistent. Other people from various countries have been coming out, you know, to represent their culture, their food and all that. So Nigeria is coming in this time around to showcase our culture, our food, our rich heritage. Dance, you know, in various kind of rhythm, in moving their waist back and forth and all that. It's lovely, and it's going to be an epic event.
I can't wait. First time, huge. This is huge breaking news. I'm so glad you brought it to WCG-TV.
Indeed.
To share with the world. Everyone's dying to come see the Nigerian Pavilion, because this is what you're going to get. You're going to get this incredible wardrobe.
Yeah.
I love your choice of hat. I'm going to ask you about that hat, but not yet. We're gonna have to wait, because let's get over the details. Let's get those out of the way so we can't forget them. Where is the pavilion going to be this year?
Okay, so the pavilion this year for the Nigerian contingent, or the Nigerian Pavilion team, is at 31st 14th Street, Brandon, Manitoba. That's the Army, Navy, and Air Force.
Right, Army Navy Air Force Club.
Yes, that's the ANAF, called ANAF.
Yeah.
So that's where the Nigerian Pavilion team will be having their own events. And again, it will be happening on the 7th and on the 8th of February.
Right, so Friday, Saturday.
Friday, Saturday.
Friday and Saturday. You're going to start out with a 2-day show and work your way up to
fantastic, yes.
Not bad. I'll give you a pass because it's your first year, so you're okay. You're off the hook, Emmanuel.
Yeah, thank you.
You're still good with me.
Yeah.
I'm kidding, of course. So we've covered where it is. We've covered when it is. Who is going to be there? Are you going to be there?
Well, sure, of course. I mean, you wouldn't say if you have a rice, you don't have a stew in it. So, I mean, I'll be there. As the
and what kind of performances? Like, who's going to be?
The performance is going to be epic. So we have various ethnic groups in Nigeria, because we have too many ethnic groups in Nigeria that make up Nigeria. I mean, don't forget that Nigeria speaks over 500 languages.
How many? Well, here's something that a lot of people, including myself, probably don't know. How many people live in Nigeria?
Yeah, Nigeria again has over 200 million people, and still counting, residing in Nigeria. And don't forget again, it's the most populous black nation in the world.
Yeah.
So it's a complex environment, very, very rich in heritage and culture, like we're trying to say. So the dance there's a group called the Anioma group. They'll be performing on that day. We'll be having the talking drum.
A
talking drum. So it's pretty much of a guy holding a small drum and hitting it with a stick. You know, it creates a kind of like a rhythm, a sound, and a voice. So it's called the talking drum.
Neat.
Yeah. So you find that across Africa, and Nigeria again have those kind of display on various events and all that. So the talking drum guy will be performing on that very day. And again, most times you have events in Nigeria, you must always have a DJ performing as well, playing the various Afro beats, because Nigeria is rich in Afro beats, which everybody know, which is becoming which has now a global acceptance.
Well, so you've come to the home of Afro beats.
Indeed,
we have our own Afro beat show with Sean Pelamo.
Wow, interesting to know.
Every week, yeah, we put on another episode of Afro beats, a very popular show.
Indeed.
In fact, we've had other Pavilion people representing their Pavilion who have told me that they watch that show every week.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah, the Mauritius
the
Pavilion.
Mauritius too. I mean, Mauritius is Africa, so they tend to look at the Nigerian Afrobeat thing
in Africa,
which is very great. Like we're saying, it's there on the global map now. It's there on the global stage. Afrobeat is taking over. You understand? You see a lot of Western artists who want to now really jump into the kind of like, Afrobeats.
Justin Bieber's a huge fan.
Of course,
huge
Rihanna,
fan.
Jay-Z, name them, a whole bunch of them, are really jumping into doing collaboration, with Afrobeat artists, especially from Nigeria. Davido, Wizkid, Burna Boy, name a whole lot of them are really putting, Afrobeat on the map, in that regards.
Well, I don't mind telling you, I've got a huge crush on Tyler.
Oh, okay.
Bwiza too. Bwiza.
Yeah. Well, very good artists.
Yeah. Tyler and Bwiza, #1 in my book. What types of dancing do you think we're going to witness at the Nigerian Pavilion this year? What type of act should we expect to see?
Yeah, so like I said, the Anioma dance will be performing. So they pretty much move themselves in sequence.
Okay.
Right to left.
It's choreographed.
Yeah, choreographed.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
that's what I mean. Choreographed.
Right.
So it's all in sequence. Choreographically, they are moving themselves. Teasing everybody, making you want to jump to it. You want to say something.
Well, I'm shocked that you have a choreographed event put together in such short notice, being that it's your first year. So kudos to the Nigerian team for coming together. A lot of rehearsal time, a lot of practice time, and finding people who are willing to do the culture, to put on the cultural display that is going to happen. Yep. That couldn't have been easy. So well done. I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
And it's a great time to ask, how hard has it been to put a pavilion together this year? How much work, how much behind the scenes work is going on?
It's something I don't know where to come from, because I myself, I am an event promoter, you understand?
Yes.
Judging, I've been putting up events before now. And with this one, within the short time, first of all, most areas, most event venues have been filled up, packed. Not just because of the Westman Multicultural Festival. Other events have been lined out already, this year and all that. People book event venues, ahead of time. So that was our first issue, to start searching for, halls where we could accommodate our people, do our own thing. It wasn't easy going around back and forth, touring around the whole of Brandon, making calls. And kudos to the Mr. Chrislin, who is part of the Westman Multicultural Society board, who has helped me in so many ways in trying to tell me, go check this place, go check that place. And after that, we secure that venue. It now boils down to us to start doing our homework, who is going to perform, what are we going to perform, who are you going to put up, in your team, because I have to set up a committee almost immediately within the short span that we have, put up a committee, tell everybody this is what you do, this is what you don't do. You know, myself, I'm always up in the night trying to set up, you know, various lines, what to say and or what not to say, you know, how to influence people about the event, telling people, oh, go tell this one, go tell. So it's a whole lot of work for me. It has not been easy for me to put up this event, but you know, in all honesty, you know, it's joyous for me. I'm very, very delightful to, you know, to go through all this rigorous process, and because I know at the end it's something that will bring, you know, joy for not just me, for my people as well, Nigerians in Brandon.
Yeah, and you're the perfect person, as you were mentioning earlier, that you've done some other activities and some other events, and I've seen them. So that means that you're the perfect person to take on this huge responsibility of trying to coordinate all of the different players, right?
If you say I'm a perfect person, I might not be the perfect person. I'm just there, probably I met the opportunity to just put up this, you know, and make it happen. So in my own capacity, I'm doing my very best, you know. Thank you.
Well, that's so wonderful. Without you, we wouldn't have a pavilion. I say that because last year we didn't have a pavilion, so it's all on you, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah,
right on.
Thank you so much.
You also mentioned that it took some help. You needed some help to find the venue. This is a great time to thank all of the people that helped you put this together. So who would be on that list?
Well, then one person on that list is Chrislyn, who's actually, like I said, is a board member of the Westman Multicultural Festival Society.
Right.
Who's actually from Mauritius.
Oh, no
Mauritius is Africa. So
yeah.
He has been there all the way. He has always been there with me, making call with me. This is how you do it. Don't get you know, distracted. Don't feel down. You've not gotten this. You've not gotten that. I mean, and again, I want to still use this opportunity to thank all Nigerians as well who has been so supportive. Those who has been calling me on phone. Oh, wow, this is so epic. The first time Nigeria is partaking, we were indeed blessed. We are proud of you. Thank you. And the whole entire representative of various countries for the Multicultural Festival, Westman Multicultural Festival, they've all been helpful in you know, in every step of the way, because they've been through this journey before me. Yeah, you understand.
They know the drill.
I might have the experience, but I don't have the experience in, you know, putting up this kind of show. You understand? So they have the experience in putting up all this kind of show. They are there telling me how to position myself, what documents, and how to get my documents ready and all that, you know, for all various compliances and all that. So all these people that I mentioned have been very, very helpful, you know, in seeing that this is a huge success.
Right on. Well, we've talked about music. You know what we should talk about is wardrobe, because it's killing me. I gotta ask. I don't know where to start. I want to start. You know what? We're going to start with that device in your hand. I'm not going to try and guess what it's for. I have a pretty good idea. But could you tell us the origin and use of that item in your right hand? So
for what I'm holding in my hand is like a hand fan. Most times in my place, you see titled chiefs, elderly. They usually have something like this and a walking stick, but most times they have this one. So this is like what you use to greet. So various chiefs in my tribe and, you know, in Nigeria, you know, they greet with this. So we call it akupe. You know, akupe. Yeah. In English, it's like a hand fan kind of, but most times again, it has an inscription of your title on it, but this does not have it. So if you check online, see clips online, you see most people having this full regalia, and they will have the inscription of their title in it. So we use it to just greet. So like there's an adage that says in my tribal language that the knife in a man's waist, he uses to greet. So I'm just saying like so this is like, you know, what I used to greet.
Ceremonial.
Yeah, so it's ceremonial to greet and, you know, exchange greetings and all that. Then, I mean, speaking of my attire, this is just an Igbo attire. We have the Yoruba attire. yeah, they will be coming up on that very day. Like I said, we have 3 major tribes in Nigeria. We have the Yoruba, we have the Hausa, we have the Igbo. So I'm from the Igbo tribe. So those are the 3 major tribes. And again, we have the Efik, the Bibios, and other tribes, you know, in Nigeria. So, but these tribes are really major. Other tribes have their own, you know, attire and all that. So it's just, they just look almost the same, you understand? So for us, this is called Isiago. So, Isiago, yeah. So you can see the bold face of the lion in it, you know, which is
in mid-roar.
Indeed,
like he's going to kick some butt.
It's strength, his voice, his courage.
It's a very powerful,
you understand?
shirt,
so this is what we do. And these ones I'm having are local kind of beads.
Okay.
So you find every person within Nigeria that's, once you have an attire, a local attire on you, you must always have a bead to it. It makes it more colorful. It makes it gives you more identification, you understand, of who you are and where you're from.
Right.
You understand? So as African or as Nigerians, we go with beads and we go with our attire. So you will see more of all these various ethnic groups that I've mentioned here. The Yoruba attire will be displayed on that very day. You see them with their various attire, hanging their clothes, hip back, right to left and all that. You see the Edo people, you see the Igbo people, you see the Hausa people, you know, various ethnic groups in Nigeria, you know, will be performing, will be displaying their attire, even displaying it, and even what they are wearing on, it's just something you just be proud to see on that very day. So it's a colorful thing for us, you know, with attire. Our attires are very, very colorful, and they're very, very inviting. And, you know, they're skin friendly, you should say.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious if I were to see an Igbo person at a ceremony, for example, in Nigeria, and let's say he is 100 feet away, would I be able to get a sense of his position in the community by the attire that he's wearing?
Fantastic. You will definitely get the positioning of, you know, his attire that he's wearing, you know, because, you know, it comes in this form. So you see that person from a far distance, or from an arm's length, you definitely know that this person is putting on a very well respected attire, and this person wears a coat on him or wears a title on him, you understand, which is probably the person. He could be a father to his own family, or probably a chief within a small quarter, and or probably a larger group and all that. So it's something you easily tell.
And if the tiger is common on Igbo clothing, is there another animal represented in the other tribes, or are they variations of tiger?
Yeah, the variations. Now, for the Igbos represent, like, tiger is what we represent, and the lion, you understand, is our own.
Sorry, lion. Tiger.
Yeah. Well, it's the same thing. That's all both from cat family, if you understand. So still the same thing. So all the tribe have other things they represent. But for the Igbos, this is the animal we represent with, you know, the lion or the tiger.
Yeah, I was curious if if every tribe picked their own animal, like tigers, you know, or if it was a variation of the same theme.
So all tribe picks their own animal they want to use for their part of like an identification with them.
Right.
But for the lion, I should say again, is a general understanding with Africa. You understand?
Yes.
Of course, lion is found in Africa.
King of the jungle.
Yeah, the king of the jungle. So,
exactly. No messing around.
Yeah, so you always see people, you know, displaying that on, you know, on their attires.
And you've probably forgotten you're wearing it, because I forget I'm wearing one all the time. Let's talk about the hat. There's a lot of markings in there that we need to talk about, specifically the pom-pom.
Yeah.
Canada, that we would call that obviously that's not a pom-pom, but can you run us through they look like teeth, and then there's a crown, then there's what I would call a pom-pom. Can you, and the coloring, of course, could we talk about that?
So with what I have on my head now, so usually for hats, they most times come with this probably from the the makers, usually come with this thing coming up. So most times you see people wearing it, you always see this thing. Then with this one in my front here, you can see that it's like a crown.
Yeah, yeah. So, it's very regal.
Yeah, regal. So it shows that, I'm a king.
Right.
Yeah, you understand. So with the two white something you're seeing, it's like an elephant trunk.
Ah, that's
right.
Miniature elephant tusk.
Yeah, so
okay.
so elephant tusk. So you can see that. So it's just there just to guide the crown. Yeah.
Right. The
so
crown.
it's so usually again it's red. Like you're trying to ask the color. It's red because red is just a thing for us. Is the color we associate with.
Right.
You understand? So for a titled person to wear this, it shows that you are called a lot of respect.
Yes, lots of respect. And is the color red tied to the Igbo tribe?
Yes, it's tied to the Igbo tribe.
So are there other colors then amongst the other tribes?
Well, among the other tribes, we have so many colors. We have so many colors. Like I said again, for Africa or for Nigeria attire, we are tied with colors.
Right.
Yeah, African attires are really, really beautiful when they come up with numerous of colors. So we love colors in our attire, so that's why you see them. So red, blue, white, and indigo, yellow, what have you. We love all those colors.
Yeah, it was just occurred to me that it's the festival of color.
Indeed.
Because there are so many colors that are common.
Mm-hmm.
When the Mexican Pavilion last year came in, they did a beautiful dance with all of their most colorful dresses.
Yeah.
And then we had the black curtains, so the colors really stood out against the black background.
Indeed.
And we were just sitting here in awe, just watching them do it just in this space here, and they did their full show. It was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, it was such a treat. I'm so glad that they came over and did that for us. So we expect the same from Nigeria next year. This is your warning.
Yeah.
Next year.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you should help us in putting that out, like what you just said now. Expectations are there, but we are trying to roll the stone. So
yes.
This is our first entrance. So with what you just said, you could still help us put it out there. Expectations are there, like we're trying to say. But next year, we'll do more better than what we're doing now. We're going to do in this year's Westman Multicultural Festival.
The sky's the limit.
Indeed.
So glad. We're almost out of time, but what can you tell us about Nigeria, just for a person like me that I don't know a lot about Nigeria, so I need a primer course. What should a Canadian know about Nigeria? Is tourism a thing in Nigeria? Yeah. Can Canadians visit Nigeria? What would they expect? What would it be like? Just walk us through Nigeria in a nutshell.
Wow, that's
and 2 minutes or less. Go.
well, that's a very good question. For us as Nigerians, we love living the shores of Nigeria. It could be for so many reasons, in search of greener pasture, or you want to have experience of other places and all that. So for other persons too, we are using the same medium like you asked to invite them to Nigeria. It's a very, very lovely place. Mm-hmm. Hospitable people, lovely people, friendly people. And don't forget, Nigeria is rich in human capital. Mm-hmm. So because you have a numerous of Nigerians who have done well in various expertise, you have the DG of World Trade, World Organization. That's
right.
Yeah, that's the person of Dr. Ngozi Iweala. You have Chimamanda Adichie, the author, Half of a Yellow Sun. So you have numerous of Nigerians doing great things outside Nigeria. So if you come into Nigeria, you're going to love the environment. People are very, very lovely, very happy. Don't forget, just December last year, there was an event called the Dirty December. Last year was Dirty December. So in that Dirty December, you find out that everybody from around the world came to Nigeria last year.
Oh, neat.
Indeed. So it's called Dirty December. So everybody came to Nigeria. You want to see the Nigerian culture, you want to see Nigerian food, you want to see the people, you want to see how free they are, how happy they are, you know, you want to see how they want to communicate with you. They are very, very friendly people. They are always go-getters. They want to share in their ideas with you. They want you to share your idea with them as well. They want to work something. You know, there are always people working. They're always working. So if you and it's an environment you always want to be in. It's a very lovely environment. Everybody's always happy, you know, being around everybody.
Wicked.
Yeah.
Wow. And it's in December, this festival?
Yes, in December.
Because Canada loves to travel in December. It's huge.
They should go to Nigeria. Nigeria is the place to go to in December, Dirty December. It was epic last year. All around December last year, people who love Nigeria from US, from the United Kingdom, from France, from Italy, you know, from Australia, everybody visited Nigeria in December because it was a huge, huge, huge experience. So, tiers of festivals cutting across various states in Nigeria. So, I mean, you wouldn't feel bored being there.
Come in December, you won't be bored. There's a festival. It's like a month of festivals almost, it seems.
Indeed, indeed. You know, and again, you know, you understand for December, the year is winding down. There's Christmas around the corner. You know, a whole lot of things. Loved ones want to meet.
It's like starting the New Year's Eve party a month early.
Indeed, you could
genius. Nigeria knows what they're doing.
They are far ready. They are far ready. Nigeria is the place. You know, we love people just like the way people love us. So.
Wicked. Well, yeah. I'm glad that everybody watching learned that December is the best time to go to Nigeria. It's the best time to get out of Canada, that's for sure.
Indeed.
January would have been a little better.
Yeah.
We'll give it to you. We'll take what we can get.
Indeed.
December
is okay.
Yeah, December's good enough. Awesome. Well, Manuel, I want to thank you for coming down, telling us all about the Nigerian Pavilion. The first time, so it's going to be new for everybody, which is going to be wonderful because I can't wait for everybody to get an eyeful of the wonderful colors that Nigeria is going to bring. Remember, you and I had an occasion where we got to attend a Nigerian social, so I'm cheating a little bit. I've seen some of the Nigerian pavilion already.
Yeah.
But what I wanted to impress upon you was how much I was taken by the colors of the event.
Indeed.
And you guys weren't even putting on a show. I'm just talking about the people in attendance, the audience.
Yes.
The Nigerian audience, the colors that were through that audience, it was a kaleidoscope. It was amazing. And if it's represented on stage by the pavilion, if half of that makes it to the stage, it's going to be an absolutely amazing show.
So indeed.
Yeah, you guys really know how to make a visual presentation.
It very, very well.
Seems to be a huge part.
Indeed, visual seems to be a very huge part. So it's something, like you rightly said, you've been to one before.
Yeah.
So I mean, you look forward to attend more of such events. Yeah.
Wicked. Awesome. Well, great speaking with you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming down.
Thank you for having me.
And that brings us to the end of another episode of In Brandon. But there's more multiculturalism on the way. Stay tuned and take care.